northwest corner is Washington, an evergreen playground blessed by an unusual variety of natural attractions. Hundreds of rivers and streams flow through broad valleys of western Washington to the Columbia River, the ocean, and Puget Sound. The many islands, inlets, and harbors of the Sound make it a yachtsman's paradise. The Olympic Mountains rise cool and beautiful between the Sound and the Pacific Ocean, with Gray's Harbor and Willapa Harbor breaking the coastline to the south. The most stupendous scenic attractions in the world. Up the west side of the plain and across its top of high pine trees. Nestled in the north end of it. At many points along the Loop Highway, trails lead directly from the roadside into the east. Here, among centuries-old spruce fir, hemlock, and cedar, the breeze is whispering high overhead, the murmur of rivers breaking stillness. Watch the wildest deer, perhaps teaching her fawn the ways of the woods. Ripped by the dozen tumble down off the sides of the Olympic. Sportsman and lending might to the fame of Washington State as a fisherman's paradise. Along the ocean coast of the peninsula and south beyond Gray's Harbor, nature has carved boldly in stone and spread the beaches with soft, clean sand. Washington's saltwater coastline of more than 1,600 miles, including beautiful inlets and bays, provides literally countless sandy beaches in our near towns and cities and on the nearly 200 islands of Puget Sound. To bathe in the cool, refreshing waters, to bask in the warm sun, to splash away in sparkle and spray. That's life at the beaches in Washington.
Cities in the United States with the largest homeless populations. Alcohol, fentanyl, and constant conflicts have become part of everyday life. This is what many people now associate with Seattle. Within a city that covers just 217 square kilometers, there is an autonomous zone where police presence is absent and social disorder seems almost inevitable. This reality has drawn sharp criticism from Donald Trump, who has repeatedly pointed to the mayor of Seattle over how the city has handled the crisis in recent years. But what lies behind a crisis that seems impossible to resolve? Why do people with stable jobs end up living in RVs after just a few months? Take a closer look at Seattle and explore how it differs from the rest of the United States. For immigrants in the United States, the year 2025 marked a turning point, and not a positive one. As immigration enforcement tightened under the administration of Donald Trump, a series of policies indirectly triggered greater social instability and gradually fueled internal crises across the country. In Seattle, these pressures became especially visible. As a result, homelessness rose sharply. In 2024, the city recorded approximately 14,300 people experiencing homelessness. However, by the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2026, that number had climbed to nearly 20,000 people, specifically 19,834 individuals, according to the point-in-time count. At the same time, the widespread availability of cheap fentanyl and other synthetic drugs dramatically worsened the situation, accelerating both addiction and street-level disorder. Areas such as the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone have been described by local residents as a chaotic hell of homelessness. Due to the absence of a consistent police presence, law enforcement is virtually non-existent. As a result, public order has gradually begun to collapse. People experiencing homelessness can be seen lying on sidewalks and at intersections, while fragile tents are set up solely to shield against harsh weather conditions. Drug transactions take place openly in broad daylight, treated with the same normality as the everyday exchange of food. What is truly heartbreaking is that many people believe homelessness is a choice. In Seattle, some young individuals even treat it as a lifestyle worth adopting. On the streets where oversight is minimal, people can move freely from one state of intoxication to another, trapped in a constant cycle of use. Volunteer organizations continue to provide only the bare minimum food needed to survive each day, while clothing becomes almost irrelevant.
In the nation's northwest corner is Washington, an evergreen playground blessed by an unusual variety of natural attractions. Hundreds of hills slashed by deep, rich valleys, and holding Lake Chelan and Roosevelt Lake behind.